Hey sis, we need to have a serious conversation. So sit down, get comfortable, because this is going to take a minute. Every January, like clockwork, social media turns into a festival of flagellation. You hear New Year, New Me, out with the old. This year, I'm going to be a completely different person. Girl, stop it. You were fabulous yesterday. You were fabulous last Tuesday. You were fabulous when you were stressed eating chin chin at 2 a.m. while watching Hollywood, movies and wondering why the sound effect is always so dramatic. You were fabulous. Even on that day, you wore your church shoe with your gym outfit because you were running late. And your neighbors pretended not to see you. All of it fabulous. This old new year, new me is a biggest scam. And it has been since. And before you come for me saying, but I need to improve myself. Yes, you do. We all do. And there's a massive difference between growth and complete personality reconstruction. So, here is what your pastor probably may tell you, may not tell you in the 21 days, 40 days, 100 days, the list goes on and on. You know, prayer and fasting that we're doing. But let's be honest, you are probably praying and fasting so that you don't eat your neighbor's jollof rice that is smelling through your window. But really, God didn't make a rough draft when He created you. Hmm? When God created you, it wasn't like, let me just throw things together and I'll fix it later. No, the same God who took time to make sure every zebra has unique stripes. The same God who made sure your fingerprints are different from the 8 billion people on earth. The same God who programmed the sunset to hit differently every evening. That God made you. You are not the practice version. You're not the better version. You're not coming soon. You're not under construction. You are the limited edition, signed, sealed, and delivered package. If you're a handbag, you'll be the one locked on the glass case with a security tag, not the one in the bagging bin with a broken strap. No. And yes, I know what you're thinking. But sis, I have so many issues. I'm impatient. I'm anxious. I have trust issues from that relationship in 2020. I still haven't figured out how to make my hair stay neat for more than 3 hours. And don't even get me started on my relationship with money. All those things, they're not defects. They're your character development arc. Even Jesus had to grow in wisdom and in stature, according to Luke 2:52. Hmm? If Jesus needed time to develop, why are you trying to transform completely between December 31st and January 31st? The only thing that transforms that fast is Cinderella's pumpkin. And even that needed a fairy godmother with a magic wand. This year, we're not mining for new rocks, we are polishing the diamond. And you've never seen a diamond being polished, it's not a gentle process. We literally use another diamond to do it because a diamond is too hard to be cut by anything softer. That's you, sis. You are the diamond. And yes, the polishing might be uncomfortable. That toxic friend you need to distance yourself from, that's polishing. That boundary you need to set with your family. Who thinks your house is a free hotel with breakfast included, even lunch sometimes? That's polishing. That's your habit of saying yes when you mean no. And that idea in your head, like, have you lost your mind? But trust me, it all needs polishing. Hmm? But this is what polishing does. It doesn't change what the diamond is. It only makes it shine brighter. It brings out what was already there. It removes the dust, and the grain covering all the brilliance. So when people ask you, what's your New Year resolution? Don't say to become a new person. Say to let the real me shine brighter. And if they look at you confused, that's fine. Let them marinate in that wisdom while you move on with your life. You know what's more revolutionary than changing everything about yourself? It is actually knowing yourself. I'm serious. How many of us can answer these questions? What makes you feel most alive? What drains your energy faster than your phone battery on 1%? What do you need when you're overwhelmed? And no, wine is not a complete answer. What lies do you tell yourself when you're stressed? What does rest actually look like for you? See, we can recite Bible verses, we can quote Chimamanda Adichie, and know even all the lyrics to Tiwa Savage songs. But do we know ourselves? This year, make a promise to yourself to know yourself. And I don't mean the surface level. I'm an ambivient, who loves sunset. I love walks on the beach, kind of knowing yourself. No, 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 no. I mean, really know yourself. Know why you react the way you do. Know your triggers. Know your strengths. Know what you're working with. So you can stop trying to be someone else. Because here's the thing, we can love, what you don't know. And God is very clear about loving yourself. Not in the narcissistic, I'm better than everyone kind of way, no. But in the healthy, I'm God's creation and I'm creating myself accordingly. Let's talk about priorities for a second because we're getting this all wrong. That face cream you saw on TikTok with 17 steps involving serum that cost more than your monthly budget. That's optional. Knowing that you are loved unconditionally by the creator of the universe, that's essential. Sometimes we can spend 45 minutes perfecting our makeup, we spend hours choosing the perfect outfit, we research the best hair intentions, like we're defending a PhD thesis. But one spends 10 minutes sitting quietly with God and asking Him, who do you think I am? And trying to understand who we are. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with looking good, as far as I'm concerned. African women are, the essence of beauty. And I fight anyone who thinks otherwise. But when your essence, everything, your what, is tied to whether your hair is laid, whether your outfit got enough likes on Instagram, sis, we have a problem. You know what's really attractive? A woman who knows who she is. A woman who walks into a room and doesn't need validation from every or any person there because she already got a validation from God that morning. A woman who can take off her makeup, take off her wig, put on a, faded Fine Girl We Love Jesus t-shirt from that 2015 church program and still know she's valuable. That's what we're aiming for in this new year. Hmm? Now, having said all these spiritual, deep, transformative truths, let me be clear about something. None of this matters, without you having your tea or your coffee, depending on how you like it. I don't care how anointed you are or whether you woke up 4 a.m., praying and, pouring out your heart in your journal. But if you haven't had your tea or your coffee, or for my East African sisters, you're not ready to slay anything except maybe someone's patience. Jesus turned water into wine. He'll probably understand your need for coffee or tea. Hmm? He might have even turned water into coffee or tea if they had it back there, if it was a thing back then. So don't let anyone shame you for needing your coffee or your tea. Because this year we're going for sustainable transformation this year, not burnout. Not burnout. So here is what we're actually doing this year. We're waking up and we're thanking God that we woke up. We're joyful this year. Not everyone did wake up. That alone is enough reason to be grateful. You didn't earn it. You didn't deserve it other than someone else. It's pure grace, you know. So we're looking into the mirror and we're speaking life, not empty words. I mean God's word. Don't look into the mirror and say, I'm perfect, when you know you just cussed out the bus driver in your head for splashing mud, on your body. But speak truth, speak God's word. I'm God's creation, beautifully and wonderfully made. I'm loved, I'm growing, I'm doing my best. And my best is enough for today. We're giving ourselves permission to be beginners. Whether it's about increasing our prayer lives, setting boundaries, or learning to say no, or taking care of our mental health. We're beginners this year, and beginners are allowed to be clumsy. Your prayer life doesn't have to sound like that of your pastor. Your boundaries doesn't have to be as firm, like Michelle Obama's own. You're learning. That's the whole point. Choosing one or two things to focus on, not 47 resolutions that will make us feel like failures by January 31st. One or two things, Maybe it's, I want to pray more consistently. Maybe I want to stop people pleasing. It could be, I want to actually rest on weekends. On some weekends, instead of cooking, for all the whole week. You can't fight your battles on every front. Pick your battles. This year, we're finding our people, the ones who will tell us the truth, the one who will check us when we're about to make that bad decision, the ones who will pray with us at 3 a.m. when anxiety is keeping us awake, the ones who will eat our burnt food and still love us. We're finding them, we're keeping them, and we're treasuring them. Most importantly, we're believing God when He says we are loved. Not when we're perfect, not when we've got it all together, not when we finally stopped that bad habit or finally started that good habit. Right now, just as we are messy, confused, tired, broke, struggling, but loved. Listen, by the time December rolls back again, we might not be a completely different person. You might still, be stress eating. You might still struggle with comparison when you see your ex's new girlfriend looking like she stepped out of a magazine. You might still have days where you wonder what you're doing with your life. But here's the difference: you know yourself better, you love yourself more, you have boundaries that actually protects your peace. You have a deeper relationship with God. You know, you would have fought some battles and won. You would have scars that prove that you survived. You would have stories that would encourage others. And most of all, you know that you were never a project that needed fixing. You were always a masterpiece that needed revealing. So take your new year, new me, and throw it in the trash along with last year's expires makeup. Yes, makeup expires. I know. Keeping it longer doesn't make it vintage, it makes it bacterial. This year, we're going with new year, same fabulous me. Now, but with better boundaries and more peace. Now go slay. But seriously, take that coffee, take that tea. God is patient for you to finish that coffee and that tea. He is eternal. He's got time. And one more thing, darling. When mm, that auntie in church or by your house and is asking you, why would you gotten married? Why would you lost the baby weight since 2020? Or why are you choosing this career? Or basically anything that is not her business. Smile. Take a deep breath. And remember, You are a limited edition, signed by the creator of the universe, and our opinion is neither sorted or required. Now that's how you start the year. Happy New Year, sis!